The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and thanks for joining us. This is TVWAN News. In this edition, government supports police reforms, country needs good people, and Lay Academy shows class. Prime Minister James Marape has reinforced his government's commitment to rebuilding and strengthening the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary through the provision of essential resources, vehicles, firearms, ammunition, uniforms and proper accommodation. Marape has commended Minister for Police Peter Siamalili Jr. and Police Commissioner David Manning for initiating this vital program of reform aimed at revitalizing policing nationwide.
The rebuilding of the police force is a long-term commitment and not a one-off event. Prime Minister James Marape made these remarks when commending the police hierarchy for initiating vital program of reform aimed at revitalizing policing in the country. Marape says his government has been supporting the police since taking office in 2019 and will continue to do so and support the program. He also highlighted that there are more police officers than ever before, more arrests being made, and more convictions secured. However, he said the complexity of crime has also increased. That is why the work of reforming the police is ongoing. He confirmed that the government remains committed to long-term investment in police housing, infrastructure, and institutional support to improve welfare and professional standards. Hiri Moale, TVWAN News.
A misunderstanding of the word bypass saw Biaru villagers in Morobe's Wawarria district put up a roadblock on Saturday, April 5th. They thought the construction of a new bypass, which would not run through their village, means that other government services and benefits would bypass them.
A misunderstanding of the word bypass created a volatile situation at Biaru in Morobe's Wawarria district on Saturday, April 5th. Villagers of Wisini in the Wau rural LLG were led to believe that the construction of a new bypass away from Wara Biaru would mean that they will miss out on government services and benefits that they are currently enjoying along the old district road. In frustration, they prevented a convoy from the district headquarters, including media personnel, from continuing to a groundbreaking program in Biaru that would see the construction of a number of road projects within the area. The proposed projects are Biaru-Kunai Taurens Road and Tori to Korwa Road. The issue lies with the bypass, which is the 3-kilometer Biaru-Kunai to Taurens Road. The people of Ward 17, including their councillor, George Kaya, would not let the vehicles through until the local MP, Mash Narewe, addresses their grievance. About 25 minutes later, Narewe arrived at Wisini and was quickly briefed by the district administrator and chief executive officer, John Orebut, on the situation.
No bypass stuff. Usaid man pret. Usaid pret man we Wisini kasing arrest stuff le. Mila lugu pret man usaid. You pret Lawrence something. You think was this road bypassing you bla. Yes, Emily. Who said you not looking for them? Drive the school stop here. Which is the yoga school at the Mirausim the Gibolina? Huh? You Rausim is a school locals. People school stop out by bypass Libla. Now you block our people bypass the Ibla put the Toxabla. Drive the Mibla walk coffee factory in Zeno. Casangarea. When is Santi sleep upset, they took bypass stop. Sit that thing, link. Cool blow space of Sawe. Where room of Sawe? Where room of Sawe? Kulia, Emba come up now in primary. No good Emba come up junior skill. Go come up secondary lab. You think him or no got? Emba come up lab. Now you go come. I why na me? I talk na cutting the road go down Lokasangare. Road me walk him Lokaro blow man. Road me walk him Lokaro go inside there. You no get bread. You no get bread, lo service.
Narawe and his team continued to their program, then returned to Wisini in the evening to listen to their concerns. There, the Ward 17 leaders highlighted that the current road was built in 1986 and the people there have been enjoying its benefits since. The current population, which is over 3,000 people, are anxious that if the bypass starts at Kunai, everything will be rerouted to that area. However, Narawe gave the assurance that services will still flow, and he berated the councillor for not consulting with the district about the bypass. Wisini leaders have been given this week to give their response to the MP, who had initially planned for roadworks to begin on Monday, April 7th. Kamila Gware, TVWAN News.
Papua New Guinea's law and justice sector have been boosted with a donation of over 5,000 legal textbooks. The New South Wales Office of Public Prosecutions donated the textbooks to support the work of PNG's law and justice sector.
About 5,326 legal textbooks were supplied through a 20-foot shipping container and received by the Independent Commission Against Corruption legal team, who then presented it to the National and Supreme Court Registrar at the court's premises. When presenting the legal textbooks, the ICAC Executive Director Training, Belinda Uch, said the donation aims to boost the knowledge and capabilities of PNG's legal fraternity. Uch said the New South Wales Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has also expressed support in sharing training materials consisting of 80 training videos about money confiscation, asset recovery, and advocacy in general, which will be made available at the end of this week. Hughes added that New South Wales Director of Public Prosecutions will be sending 3 lawyers for training by August of this year. The donation and the training are funded by the New South Wales Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. National and Supreme Court Registrar Ian Ugera said the law and justice sector in PNG lacks adequate legal textbooks and legal training, so this support will greatly assist the legal sector. The registrar said books are important in terms of knowledge sharing and ensuring that legal practitioners will make good use of these books to guide their practice as legal officers. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Our country is in short supply of upstanding citizens. Menyama MP Solen Loifa encouraged students to learn as much as they can and aim to be good leaders whose sole focus will be on serving their people.
Menyama's first-term Member of Parliament, Solen Loifa, hails from one of the most neglected rural districts of Morobe Province. Through hard work and dedication, he managed to graduate with a degree in economics from the University of Papua New Guinea, and he is now developing his district as their political representative. He was able to achieve all this through education and especially learning to be a better person. Speaking at a number of education project launches and groundbreaking for Wawaria District on Friday, March 28th, Loifa encouraged students at the Grace Memorial Secondary School in Wau to not only learn as much as they can, but aim to be upstanding citizens.
Government and putting money for free education, leader to putting money for salim you go to school. No can play up no this blah. Country now and we walk no cry no find him good plan man na good plan Mary. Now how find him all this now good plan man na good plan Mary. Time you go to school now any time. But you know you must get him good. You sit down good. Then him good plan person come up good plan man na good plan Mary where country they can stop lo hand you tomorrow. Plenty heavy block country me walk no get me walk come up. Ino because me so man na Mary. Ino because me no got sabe man Mary inside lo country. Em name good plan man na good plan Mary. So challenge me lo you play young plan. Time you school sim good plan sabe. Aim lo kama good plan man na good plan Mary can send sim place to you na bring good plan siram come inside lo place to you.
The Minyama MP and his counterpart from Finchafen, Rainbow Paita, were invited to Wawaria to officiate at the opening of a new 4-in-1 Grace Memorial Secondary School Teachers House, the opening of a new 4-in-1 classroom building for Wow Primary School, and the groundbreaking of a new staff house for Grace Memorial, a new science lab, a new food center, and a technical and vocational education and training center. Kamila Gware, TVWAN News, Lei.
This is TVWAN News. After the break, Hiri Queen 2025 announced and Kaumu reappointed as CEO of NAC.
Banking used to mean long trips, endless queues, and piles of paperwork. But now, BSP's one-talk wallet means no waits, no forms, no fuss. No BSP account needed. Just dial *131# to access your money wherever, whenever. Send, receive funds, withdraw cash at an ATM without a bank card, pay for school fees, and make top-up purchases safely and securely. BSP's one-talk wallet. Money made easy.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Open bets.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no P&G, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Sam Darry, he's brought greater physicality to his game this year. Here now, into the corner, he scored!
Welcome back. One of the nation's most celebrated cultural events came to a grand close last night at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium, with the crowning of the 2025 Hiri Hanenamo Queen, marking the highlights of the Hiri Moale Festival Week. Louisa Margaret Udia of Tatana Village was crowned Hiri Hanenamo Queen 2025. A third-year journalism and public relations student at UPNG, Louisa also swept 3 major category awards: Best Traditional Dress, Best Traditional Knowledge, and the Best Koe Award.
Thank you to the sponsors for always supporting this event for our Motu Koeta people to showcase our culture and to know that this culture is here to live, and we are the future storytellers. Thank you to the Hiri Moale Committee for giving us the opportunity to be here as representatives and ambassadors of our respective villages. Thank you to my sisters who are here in front. It takes a lot of courage and determination to come and stand up here. We have embodied the true unity and culture to be ambassadors. She was
joined on the winners' podium by Felicia Nancy Stephen of Hanovara, who claimed first runner-up and Digicel People's Choice Award, and Eris Toa of Kirakira Village named second runner-up. Henna Willie of Gabagaba Village received the Miss Hetera or Friendship Award. The week-long festival kicked off with the traditional Lakatoi arrival at Ella Beach, followed by vibrant sing-sings and cultural float parade, art and craft displays, and the Hiri Hanenamo contestants undergoing a series of pre-judging rounds, interviews and public appearances, all celebrating the strength, wisdom and grace of Motu Koita women. The event was proudly covered live by TVWAN, ensuring nationwide access to this rich cultural spectacle. Major support came from ExxonMobil PNG alongside several corporate sponsors and partners, with coordination from the National Capital District Commission and the Motu Koita Assembly. The Hiri Moale Festival continues to be a vibrant expression of identity, pride and unity, spotlighting the role of women as custodians of tradition and culture in Papua New Guinea. The spirit of the Lakatoi was reignited over the weekend at Erakone as the Kevaubara made its symbolic arrival, a key highlight of Day 4 of the Hiri Moale Festival 2025, setting the stage for the Grand Hiri Hanenamo Queen crowning. Saturday began in the early hours at the Royal Papua Yacht Club, where elders, youth and cultural leaders gathered for traditional blessings before the Lakatoi Kevaubara set sail across Fairfax Harbour. The double-hulled canoe retraced the legendary Hiri trade route, once sailed by Motu ancestors to connect with Gulf communities. As the canoe approached Erakone, crowds lined the beachfront in a sea of vibrant color, music and dance. The rhythmic beat of kondo drums and chants welcomed the vessel, creating a powerful tribute to Motu Koitabu resilience and heritage. The Lakatoi's arrival marked a proud moment in the 51st Hiri Moale Festival. The festival showcased Vanagi races, tattoo art and traditional performances throughout the week. The Hiri Moale Festival 2025 was proudly supported by the NCDC, ExxonMobil PNG, Digicel and other sponsors committed to preserving and promoting Motu Koitabu culture. From the Lakatoi symbolic return to Sunday's Hiri Hanenamo crowning, Erakone was once again the heart of cultural celebration. The town of Kiunga in Western Province is set to become a key economic hub, following the official opening of its new airport terminal and the groundbreaking of a major airport upgrade project. Octady Mining Limited has extended its congratulations to the North Fly District Development Authority and the PNG Sustainable Development Program for delivering the 7.8 million kina project. The new terminal, co-funded by North Fly DDA and PNG SDP, aims to improve travel comfort and efficiency for both residents and business visitors, especially those working with OTML. The event was officiated by Prime Minister James Marape, who also launched the Kiunga Airport Upgrade Project. The 70.6 million kina upgrade, funded under the Civil Aviation Development Investment Program Phase 2, will transform the airport into a modern facility with a strengthened runway, new apron helipads, terminal building and improved staff housing. With major resource development and OTML's mine extension plans underway, the airport infrastructure is expected to attract investment, stimulate trade, tourism and job creation. Kiunga is now on track to becoming one of Papua New Guinea's most connected and economically vibrant regions. Minister for Civil Aviation Wake Goi has clarified the reappointment of Dominic Kaumu as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Airports Corporation. In a press conference this afternoon, Minister Goi emphasized that Kaumu's reappointment was made in recognition of his valuable contribution to the organization and the aviation sector in Papua New Guinea. He explained that the sensitive information related to past legacies of the appointment of the MD surfaced, prompting a quick response to rescind Rex Kiponge's appointment. Minister Goi apologized for the confusion and pledged to work with Kaumu until a substantive appointment is made.
Surface and other controversies, we seriously, required some exclusive consultations, considerations within government, NAC management and the board. I have exhausted, thorough consideration of these various factors. I have made the decision to firstly revoke all the documents that I were signing or were in process, and I have made a fresh new appointment. And that appointment was reappointment of the past Managing Director.
And now for the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2461 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2386, $0.3967 Australian dollars, $0.2096 euro and 34.24 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, oil closed the day lower and on the stock market. The Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower. TV1 News continues after these short messages. Stay with us.
Banking used to mean long trips, endless queues, and piles of paperwork. But now, BSP's one-talk wallet means no waits, no forms, no fuss. No BSP account needed. Just dial *131# to access your money wherever, whenever. Send, receive funds, withdraw cash at an ATM without a bank card, pay for school fees, and make top-up purchases safely and securely. BSP's one-talk wallet. Money made easy.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Buying PNG made.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. One Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Help stop the spread of germs and protect your loved ones with Protex. Here are some simple hand washing tips. Use soap or liquid hand wash. Vigorously scrub hands in circular motion. Scrub in between fingers and nails. Do not forget the back of the palm and around the wrist. Rinse with clean running water. Dry hands with a clean paper towel or cloth. Protex. Clean hands, good health.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. To overseas news, tourism operators in Western Queensland are urging visitors not to cancel their plans to experience the outback. Flooding has stalled the start of the region's busiest time of the year.
It's the outback at its best. Sheep shearing, whip cracking, and plenty of country hospitality. It's been a tough start to the tourism season for Western Queensland, with the region experiencing its worst flood on record. While some communities remain cut off, Longreach, the home of the Stockman's Hall of Fame and Qantas Museum, is open for business.
Longreach Motoring, this is Richard. How can I help?
Richard Temple says the phone has been ringing hot, but not with the calls he wants to hear. They've lost 40% of their bookings over the normally busy winter period.
People are seeing the bigger picture and they're scared. But it's also, on the other side, it's the best time to see the region because it's green.
2 hours up the road, the town of Winton is pushing ahead with a major milestone, 150 years since the town was founded. It's a week-long celebration of the birthplace of Australia's unofficial anthem, Waltzing Matilda.
We're just like, no, we're not going to be beaten. We're going to open up our gates for our community and show off what we are 150 years.
Winton's also known as the dinosaur capital of Australia and for its charming main street. Those who've come are now experiencing a rare sight, a sea of green.
And I love the beauty of the outback, the expanses. And growing up on a farm, I love, the big pastures and the open land and that.
Out here, residents reckon the bush gets under your skin. And with tourism bringing in more than $276 million last year, they're hoping more visitors will come and fall for it too.
For many people living with autism, going to a concert or the theatre is a no-go. Bright lights can be confronting, loud noises and quick temperature changes. Now, a project led by autistic people is running inclusive events and training staff at some of the country's biggest cultural hubs.
Okay. Boom. As a family, being together is our favourite thing. We built a lot of Lego in this house.
Coffee.
We love board games. Okay, we did it.
We did it.
There's a bit of baking that goes on in this house, but the big obsession is the dog. We love our dog. You can do it.
The Lobsies house is a hub of activity.
No! When we're home and it's just us, that's the happy place where the biggest thing is we can be ourselves.
Everyone in this family is autistic and highly sensitive to the stimulus around them. Mum Madeline says leaving the house has always been a struggle. Not because the family doesn't want to, but because the world doesn't cater for their sensory needs. Anywhere with a crowd can be a challenge, including the supermarket.
If you think about all the different music that's playing in the background and then all the voices that are going and then all the beeping of machinery, tins hitting cupboards, often it's fluorescent light and very bright. You can go through lots of temperatures. You know that experience where you walk past the freezers and it's cold? My heart rate's really high. I start getting lots of tension in my body. I'll often get headaches really fast too because the light will impact me so much. When you know yourself as someone who's intelligent and then you're confused by what seems like the most basic thing, that's really frustrating.
And I nearly left twice at shows.
Madeline's been a director and actor for decades and knows what it's like when venues don't cater for autistic people. To change that, she's working with the A-List Hub, an organisation creating events at some of Australia's biggest cultural institutions and training staff in how to support the community.
There are many venues that do things like relaxed performances and quiet hours. How do we go to the next evolution where that's just standard practice and my family doesn't have to go at a certain time on a certain day? to be able to experience the arts.
It is a complete myth that autistic people like myself are not social beings. We just socialise in a way that is different to what you would expect.
Artist Beck Street has been working as a consultant on the project. Today, she's at a sensory-friendly dance workshop in Sydney. The size of the class has been reduced and a number of other adjustments have been made.
So we've set it up so that it's nice and dim in here. We've turned all the lights off actually.
Beck says making spaces autism-friendly isn't just about restrictions. It's also about creating what she calls sensory joy.
We have lots of opportunities in these spaces to play and experiment with different materials. There's just so much joy to be found in the senses.
Those behind the project know change won't happen overnight, but they're confident their work will put the arts sector on a path to inclusion, one venue at a time.
Pope Francis has made his first public appearance since he was discharged from the hospital 2 weeks ago after the most serious health crisis of his 12-year papacy. The 88-year-old was seen entering St. Peter's Square at the Vatican in a wheelchair on Sunday to greet cheering crowds. Francis had been out of public view since March 23rd when he had left Rome's Gemelli Hospital after more than 5 weeks of treatment for double pneumonia. The Pope, in a previously unannounced move, came out to the square shortly before noon at the end of the celebration of a Mass for the Catholic Church's Jubilee year. With the federal election so far documented by competing cost of living and energy policies, frontline workers are concerned the rise of violence against women is being left behind. One woman is killed every 9 days on average in Australia, with calls for funding to be fast-tracked to help those escaping violence.
Kiara Collins's first experience of violence was as a young child in her family home.
Having to patch up holes in the walls so people didn't see them when they came over, that's probably not normal.
She now helps other women escape violence.
How are we still fighting this? Like, when will we have the right to walk safely without fear?
One woman is killed every 9 days on average in Australia by a current or former partner. A series of deaths last year prompted nationwide rallies and calls for change.
This is indeed a national crisis.
It is completely unacceptable.
A year on, as Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton hit the campaign trail, advocates are demanding it be declared a national emergency.
If you're a young person escaping a violent home without a protective parent, you have no door to enter in the family violence system.
So what's being done about it? Last year, National Cabinet agreed to spend more than $4 billion on ramping up frontline services for people leaving family and domestic violence, boosting legal aid services and interventions for high-risk offenders. Community legal centres say the extra money is still not meeting demand.
The women's legal services across the country are turning away at least 1,000 women per week.
It's very difficult to do the bigger pieces of work around prevention, healing and recovery when the entire system is in crisis mode.
Demand for homelessness services is skyrocketing, making it harder for women to escape violence.
The housing crisis makes it much tougher for people when they're leaving a situation of violence.
With thousands again joining recent rallies, those on the front line are watching to see what politicians offer before voters go to the polls on May the 3rd.
There is now bipartisan support from both major parties for returning the Darwin Port of Australian control. Some are using the political spotlight to call for a redirection of funding for a controversial port-related project called Middle Arm.
Promised almost $2 billion for marine infrastructure at Darwin's proposed Middle Arm development precinct. But there are now suggestions some of this funding should be used to buy back the Darwin Port.
We think this is a massive opportunity to redirect $1.9 billion, which is allocated to a failing project at Middle Arm, towards clean energy investment in the port that already exists.
In 2028, phosphate miner Verdant Minerals says it wants to export up to 2 million tonnes of material for battery and fertiliser production through the Darwin Port. If the port's back in government hands, it says infrastructure would need to be improved.
No matter who wins government, we know that there's going to be a similar arrangement no matter what, so that's nice to know.
Verdant says the port's current facilities would slow down exports.
We've worked with the Port of Darwin quite a bit in preparation for our exports. They can export our product currently, but we are concerned about a lack of infrastructure there that will enable it to get out as quickly and cheaply as possible.
The Northern Territory government says it's had no discussion with the federal government about redirecting funding committed to the Middle Arm precinct to buy back the Darwin Port. In several recent public statements, Landbridge has again said the port is not for sale and the cost of doing any deal to acquire the asset remains unclear.
And that ends the news segment. Sports is next after the break.
We are the people, connected to our land and sea. Timeless and enduring, it has served past generations, sustains us today, and will support those of tomorrow. A testament to human ingenuity. It can be shaped into limitless forms. It reflects our humanity, strong yet vulnerable. It teaches us to endure challenges to fulfill our purpose. Past technologies inspire us to look inward for creativity and sustainable solutions for the future. It brings families together, fostering moments of connection over shared meals. Known and cherished worldwide, the clay pot is a universal symbol of life, resilience, and connection.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Did you know that you can get the latest updates on what's happening on the DTV app? 1. Open the DTV app. 2. Go to the profile on the upper right-hand corner of your screen and scroll down to push notifications. 3. Turn it on and you're good to receive notifications on the latest sports, TV series, and movies. DTV, your TV on the go.
Magical Monte Carlo playground of the rich and famous. Oh, that's magic.
Means business here.
Oh, he's made it.
A phenomenal angle. Casper on the clay. It's a dream combo. That was a rocket.
It's a hat-trick in Monte Carlo.
Thanks for staying with us. 4 teams have qualified for the semi-finals of the OFC Men's Champions League 2025. The finals showdown will start on Wednesday, 9th April. The teams are PNG's Hikari United, Vanuatu's Ifira Blackbird, Tigger Sport from New Caledonia, and Auckland City.
That's a shot that just...
The match marks the first time Hikari United has secured progression past the group stages of the competition since winning the OFC Men's Champions League in 2010. 5 different players scored for Papua New Guinea, led by representatives, a hat-trick from Rex Naime.
For Rex Naime, and Naime makes it 3-0.
And 2 goals each from Nathaniel Eddy and Pala Paul in their significant win over Cook Islands club Tupapa Mararenga. Hikari United began as the heavy favourites but still required at least a point to guarantee progression to the last four. Hikari's 9-0 victory has elevated the spirits in the camp ahead of Wednesday's match against Tiga Sport of New Caledonia. The match between Hikari and Tiga Sport will be a challenging one. Tiga in their earlier game managed a draw with Auckland City and is sure to give Hikari a tough matchup. In the other semi-final clash, Vanuatu's Ifira Black is determined to put up a strong contest against 12-time champions Auckland City in the opener of the finals challenge. Lay Academy showed their class and dominance over opponents Goroka and Mount Hagen in the under-15 male category, recording back-to-back wins today to head Pool B in the 2025 PNG NRL Bid Academy Tournament at the National Sports Institute in Goroka. Lay now tops the under-15 male category in Pool B, qualifying to advance to the Grand Final Championships set for May 10th in Port Moresby. Terry Longboat is in Goroka and brings this story.
The National Sports Institute here in beautiful Goroka came alive this morning with the start of Pool B matches for the three academies, host Goroka, Mount Hagen and Lay. Yeah, the matches were played throughout the day, and of course Lay coming out, great winners, picking up 2 wins from 2, while Goroka saving the best for last to thrash their neighbours Mount Hagen in the final match of the day. And joining me on set today, of course, the operations manager with PNG NRL Bid, Raymond Aro. First of all, thank you for your time, but just give us your take on the first day of this 3-day tournament which is happening here at NSI. Yeah.
Fantastic day of football here in Goroka. Having these young kids come here and put on a splendid show here. It's wonderful to see the level of football, the skill level as well. And, some of these kids are very new to this competition. And, what they displayed was, really great.
Yeah. And, of course, as I mentioned earlier, Lay very dominant again from game 1, game 2. And I think they're on their way now to the grand final.
Yes. So the winners of this pool goes down to Port Moresby on May 10 to play the winners of Pool A matches that are played down there during this week. And so we had Lay, a very strong side that came up, and they won 2 games. They did well in the first game, beating Goroka 16 points to 12, and then they defeated the Mount Hagen boys 16-6. They booked themselves flights into Port Moresby.
Yeah, but speaking of Goroka, the host, they were favourites at the beginning, but they were shocked by the boys from Rainy Lay. But surprisingly, they came back and annihilated their neighbours from Mount Hagen. 48 points to 6.
48.6. Yeah. They saved the best for the last, but it was, too late.
Yeah.
Lay had already booked a flight down to Moresby.
But despite of all the results today, I think one of the standouts that I've been talking about before and now, I want to just make it known again that we have a lot of talent, especially the team from Mount Hagen. Very young team. Yes.
Exactly, Terry. You've got kids coming from Mount Hagen, and that number 14 who went out to play. He was awesome. Playing dummy half, and he's a young kid coming up. And I had a chat with them after the game, and encouraged them to continue this path. And this is the kind of talent that we want to see. And our coaches out there are doing a great job. And I just want to say thank you to all the academic coaches, especially in these pool matches. Bobby and Michael and Dennis in Lay, Bobby in Hagen and Michael here. Thank you for their effort and the staff that they put in time for the last 22 weeks and to bring the teams this far.
Yeah. Look, Raymond, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for all the good work that you're doing, and also Joanna Les, who has come on board again this time around for this Pool B tournament, which is happening here at the original home of the PNG NRL Bid Academy Tournament, of course, NSI. And a big thank you again to the rest of the crew here, also the people who made it happen today, of course, NSI Director Janet Gimot, and also the staff here. Thank you very much. And of course, join us again on TVWAN Sports 2 on Wednesday for the boys under 17 challenge.
The lay academies under 15 male, under 17 male and under 18 open female teams are determined to make a strong impression this year, aiming to replicate the success of the under 19 academy boys who claimed the inaugural 2024 PNG NRL bid tournament major title. Head coach Dennis Mial is confident in this year's squad, highlighting the emerging talent that has been nurtured and developed to compete against the best academies from other regions. He said the team's commitment, hard work and discipline displayed over the past 5 weeks, stating they are now ready to showcase their skills and energy on the field. The Bulldogs reclaimed the #1 ranking they had at the start of the round while maintaining their perfect record to start the season with a 5th straight victory. The Bulldogs take back top spot on the ladder on 10 points with a 20-0 win over Newcastle. It is the first time since 1993 that the team has started a season 5-0. It came despite a hearty defensive effort by the Knights, who lost winger James Schiller in an HIA and prop Jacob Saifiti in a calf injury in the opening minute, but still held the Dogs tryless in the opening 40 minutes. But the mountain of defense took a toll in the second half as the Bulldogs refused to let up, with Josh Curran and Jack Todd scoring in the first 5 minutes after the break and Kurt Mann diving over late in his 200th NRL game. It was a brutal contest that showed off the grit of both the Bulldogs and Knights, but Cameron Ciraldo and Stephen Christian's team just had more class. And that ends the sports segment. Now for the weather forecast. Southern region, Port Moresby becoming cloudy with evening rain showers and thunderstorms. Momase Lay cloudy with evening rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Vanimo becoming cloudy with evening showers, then rain and thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Kimbe cloudy with evening rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Boka partly cloudy with few showers tonight. Highlands, Mendi, Tari and Wabek cloudy with frequent rain and thunderstorms tonight with riverine flooding. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea seas slight with east to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. Solomon Seas smooth to slight with northeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Bismarck Seas smooth with northeast to easterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. Pacific Ocean seas slight to moderate with easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots. And coastal waters. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru, Kiwai Island, Kerma, Yule Island to Hood Point, Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and Old Millen Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.